Form Affinity.
Where design takes form.
Introducing Maya Config add-on for Blender. This config includes an extended and improved version of the Maya to Blender hotkeys. It also includes a Maya style marking menu, quad view toggle and quad menu, plus many more features. Let's take a look. Marking menu is a beloved feature in Maya which is accessed by hitting the right mouse button. This has been set up with the config with the same hotkey, right mouse button, and it allows you to enter the various modes for object and edit. So for instance, we can go into edge, or while an object we can go into face, etc. We can also toggle the shade flat and the shade smooth options for our object. Likewise, we can, for instance, go into face mode, select a face, and invert selection. There's also a max screen button, maximizing the viewport. There's the addition of creating objects, creating lights, and clear transforms. So opening up the transform panel, I can move on Y, right click, history, clear all. I can also right click, history, reset transforms. So for location, for instance, we'll reset it to origin. So the marking menu in this config allows for a very similar functionality as the marking menu in Maya. The Isolate Select feature in Maya allows you to quickly zoom in on a particular object so that you can work without the obstruction of other mesh in your view. And that's a toggle for that there. So in Blender with the config, we've enabled that as part of the marking menu for Isolate. And it's also a toggle, and it focuses on your object. Next we have quad view, which is activated with the spacebar in Maya. So in the config we have spacebar set to quad menu, and you can toggle the quad view here. You can also go to specific orthographic views. Likewise, you can go into your active camera view here. Since Blender doesn't have a mouse over capabilities for the particular views, this allows you to quickly and efficiently go into those views. Under the display panel, which comes with the config as well, there's also a quad view toggle here, and a camera toggle, which toggles the active camera. Extruding has been set up to behave like Maya, so where you select a face, you hit Control E you get this line. So you're extruding upon the normal. In Blender's default setup, when going into edit mode for an object and selecting a face, when one of the widgets for move, rotate, or scale are active, when dragging outside of an object, it moves the face or scales and rotates, etc. In the config, this has been set up to behave like Maya, where it acts as a deselect feature. So selecting a face, going to the move widget, we can click and drag outside of the object and it deselects. Rotate outside of the object, it deselects. Only when the widget is actually grabbed does it move. Otherwise, it deselects. This allows you to quickly work without having to jump back to the selection box tool each time you want to deselect a face, a vertex, edge, etc. The config comes with a Maya display panel on the left, which has a few features that are useful. Symmetry for one when in edit mode. Allows you to quickly grab opposite ends of your mesh, and you can hit extend and work that way. There's also a render button, which will bring up your render window. Press is there as well. There's a link to Form Affinity tutorials on YouTube. Next we have themes. So going into preferences, under themes, we can change between your old school blue Maya theme or the gray. Also just in the way that the user layout is set up. Whereas in old school Blender or default Blender 2.8, it appears something like this. So in the config, everything has been laid out to be recognizable for a Maya user. So outliner is on the left hand side. You've got basically your channel box here defaulting when you open up the program. There's also some tabs that have been added. So camera tab and hypershade, which is basically Blender's shading capabilities. So everything has been laid out to be a little bit more Maya-centric. Also the quad view that we already discussed, and the camera is similar to the location that is in Maya. Navigation in this config has been set to behave like Maya. So Alt left mouse button allows you to toggle rotate around your object. Alt middle mouse button allows you to pan. The QWER keys have been set to your widgets. So W, E, R, and Q for box select. The F key is set to focus on an object. And the Alt E key is set to isolate select. Maya config for Blender also comes with a AutoHotkey script for My Alt, which is here. This allows you to press and release Alt to go into toggle mode, or Shift to go into pan mode, allowing for a ergonomics upgrade, basically. So you're not having to hold down Alt. You're also not having to hold down the left mouse button or the middle mouse button when you're using your toggle and pan features. Hey guys, so brand new to the config. You may notice that this is slightly different now. I've added Keymap buttons, so if you want to pause the Maya keymap and those hotkeys, you can quickly just press the blender button. And now when I'm on have an object selected, for instance, and I hit the R key, I'm in rotate. Now when I click back on Maya and hit the R key again, I'm on the scale widget. So this allows you, let's say you're following a tutorial, you want to just quickly switch back to the Blender default keymap, you can do that here, and then switch quickly back to the Maya default. So that's it guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll leave a link in the description to the Gumroad product page. Be sure to check that out, and we will see you next time.